Spoiler alert, obviously, because we're talking about brutal horror endings, so don't whine at me. Spoiler alert. Hello my fellow weirdos, my name is Marie McWilliams, welcome back to my channel. For today's video we are going to be counting down my top 5 horror movies with the most brutal endings. So guys, as we know, horror movies aren't necessarily going to have a happy ending. That's part of the charm a lot of the time. And whilst some endings where the bad guy wins is sort of expected and it's fine and you just kind of go along with it and it's okay, there are some movies where the ending is just... ugh. Like, you need to take a minute. You need to take a day. You need to take a month to recover from that bad boy. So I thought that I would pick my 5 favourite most brutal movie endings and share them with you guys. So I'm going to launch straight into it. At number 5 we have The Blair Witch Project. Now guys, if you haven't seen this movie, please do. It is an absolute classic. Although yes, it is kind of responsible for sparking the constant found footage horror movie genre that is now plaguing us forevermore. It was the original and therefore it is excusable. It is about a group of teens who decide to film a documentary in a forest where there is a legend of the Blair Witch. And when they're there, strange things start happening. They start, no matter how far they walk in one direction, they don't end up anywhere but back at the start. There are little dolls made of wood hanging in the trees. There's lots of strange stuff. So basically it ends with our teens discovering the house where the whole sort of Blair Witch history kind of went down. And our main character, after losing some of her friends, finds one of them standing in the corner, which is what this legend said that they used to do with the children. He's standing in the corner, there's little handprints all over the walls. It's very creepy, very eerie, lots of shaky footage. And then the camera just gets whacked and falls to the floor. And that's it. Everybody disappears. Nobody knows what happens to them. The end. It is a brutal ending and one that when you're watching it you don't expect to happen. So I love that for just completely taking what the audience thought was going to happen and going nope. The whole concept is that it is found footage. So obviously there weren't going to be any survivors, but to have that final without ever knowing what really happened to her and her friends. Her and her friend in the corner, knowing whatever happened to them. Is it the Blair Witch? Is it somebody else? Who the hell knows? Nobody knows. They've just got this found footage to go on and something got her. So, great ending. At number 4 we have Wolf Creek. Oh boy, this whole movie is... oh, it's just one big brutal movie. It is based on a true story about a couple of hikers, 2 girls and a guy, who were the victims of a very prolific serial killer in Australia, whose name I can't recall. I'll have to Google that. But he drugs them, and he's not interested in the guy, so he just kind of nails him to a wall and leaves him there. But the girls, oh dear. So the prettiest girl, he sexually assaults and rapes and tortures. Our protagonist, she does really well. You know, she tries to free her friend, tries to save them all, goes to get a car. But it ends with her being, getting inside a car, getting a set of keys for a car. She's gonna get out of there. She turns on the engine and realizes that the bad guy is right behind her in the back seat, and he stabs her in the spine, causing her to become basically disabled from the neck down. He calls it a lolly on a head on a stick, a lollipop kind of thing, a head on a stick. And the idea of this being that she can feel pain and she's aware of what's going on, but she's incapable of moving or fighting or doing anything about it. Jesus. It's really, really effed up. It is, yeah. Watch that one only if you're in the right mindset, people. It's pretty brutal the whole way through. Okay, at number 3 we have The Descent. Not the US release, because for some reason they felt like they wanted to make the movie like a happy ending in America, but here in the UK they kept it super bleak because of course we wanted the bleak, depressing ending. It's about a group of friends who go spelunking. I love that word, spelunking. Inside a previously unexplored cave system in the English countryside, and they discover as yet undiscovered sort of race of subhumans who've been down there for however long and have evolved to be able to see in the dark, and they hunt the spelunkers. Is that a word? They hunt the climbers and eat them. It's a super creepy film from start to finish, but our main character, she's awesome. She finds out that one of the party with her actually was having an affair with her husband, so she just stakes her in the leg and leaves her there as bait for for the creatures so she can hightail it out of there. She then manages to claw her way out of the caves, get out of there to freedom, or so you think. It then cuts to her with her dead daughter celebrating a birthday and a birthday cake, and then you pull away and you realise that not only did she not get out of the cave system, but that she's trapped in what is a ridiculously elaborate cavern full to the brim with these creatures. And she's now hallucinating. She hallucinated that she got out. She hallucinates her dead daughter. So yeah, it is a pretty brutal and bleak ending. Yes, there was a sequel, and apparently she did manage to somehow get out, but the sequel's blooming terrible, and I just pretended that it didn't happen. Number 2, we have George Romero's classic Night of the Living Dead. George Romero is the daddy of zombie films. He pretty much came up with what we deem a zombie today. This movie is really a metaphor for racism, with our protagonist being a black man. And after a night of him and the fellow survivors fighting off a zombie horde, getting picked off and killed one by one, our protagonist is the only one left. And then a bunch of rednecks who are kind of wandering through the countryside, killing off whatever zombies are left and looking for survivors. They spot him, and without even asking if he's a zombie, without saying, hey, bruh, you've been bit, no, they just shoot him in the head. They just kill him. So, yeah, brutal. Finally, number 1, guys, you had to have seen this coming. It's Stephen King's The Mist. Holy crap, this movie. So it is about a mist which descends upon a town, and most of the movie takes place in a supermarket where our main characters are trapped when the mist comes in. They realise that anybody who goes out into the mist, there's something out there, many things out there that are killing. There are creatures. It's full-blown apocalypse. The whole world has gone to crap. Unfortunately, there's not only a horror outside in the mist, there's a horror inside the supermarket as well, with a crazy religious lady who thinks that she should start sacrificing survivors in order to get through, and because everybody's so panicked, they're going to go along with it. So anyway, our protagonists, him and his little boy and another couple of survivors, managed to get the hell out of there after killing crazy lady. They make it to a car without being killed, seeing all these creatures around. They drive until they run out of gas, and then they have 4 bullets left. So, our hero, he shoots everyone, including his own son. No bullets left for him, so he throws himself out into the mist to succumb to whatever horrifying, painful death awaits him, only for the mist to clear, the army to come through, and for all of it to be over. He even sees one of the first people to leave the shopping centre at the very start of the film because she wanted to go and get her daughter. He sees her and her daughter on a truck with a bunch of survivors, and he realises that if he had waited 5 minutes and not shot his child and the other survivors, they would have been completely fine, and now he's going to have to live with that for the rest of his life. Holy crap. It's like, that one, you need to take some time after. It is harsh. Harsh. Anyway, that's it, guys. That's my 5 most brutal horror movie endings. Do you guys have any others that I haven't thought of? Let me know in the comments. What did you think of the movies that I mentioned? And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It means the world to me if you guys could subscribe and join me. Hit the bell button so you don't miss out on any of my content. Leave me a comment. Leave me a like. Let me connect with you guys. That is the whole point of this. And that's me for now, guys. Bye.